What's up guys, this is B by Mash UK. Welcome to my new channel, Speed VR. So I thought I'd start a new channel, 2021. Get back into doing these honest reviews and comparisons and settings in games, mainly focusing on sim racing and flight sim, and retro gaming as well, because I've been doing a lot of retro gaming over the last 12 months. So I've bought some nice, interesting things to review. But biggest purchase so far is an RTX 3090. Very expensive. Had to sell a lot of things to get that card. But yeah, so I got a real good price for my 2080 Ti. So I thought I would do a video to start off with of the settings that you can expect using the Oculus Quest 2 with link cable, which I'm going to do a review on. I'm also going to review the link cable that I'm using compared to the official horrendously overpriced Oculus link cable. So I'm going to show you the settings that I've got running right now, 80 frames per second. That's where I've got my Quest 2 set to with a 3090. So let me just show you how I've got my Quest set up first. Okay, so there's the Oculus Quest 2. Let's just zoom in a little bit so you can see the settings. Okay, so this is the important one down here, the graphic preferences. As you can see, I'm set at 80 Hz, and I'll explain why later. And with the 3090, I'm able to max out the resolution all the way up to 5408 by 2736. Okay, that is a very, very sharp Oculus Quest 2 image. Okay, so that's set. It's set to 80 Hz, and I'll explain why later. Okay, so that's for Quest 2. Let's, while I'm in here as well, let's do a USB test. So you can see the speed I'm getting on the cable that I'm using. Brilliant. Thanks, Oculus. Okay, let's start again. There we go. It does that sometimes, I don't know why. The cable I'm using is very, very light. It's the one VR headset I've used where you really don't notice the cable, especially in sim racing. So as you can see, we're getting 2.3 gigabits per second over USB 3. Okay. So back to the game itself. I'm not going to show you any Steam settings because I run Automobilista 2 in using the Oculus runtime rather than Steam. So I just want to show you the settings. Now, before I show you the settings, on my 2080 Ti with the Oculus Quest 2, I had to put the anti-alias into low. Everything was on low and medium, okay, to obtain 80 frames per second. And if I pushed it up to 90 frames per second, everything would be on low. That's with a 20 car grid at daytime, no weather, just clear skies. Perfect, you know, beautiful FPS, really nice. So with the 3090, these are now my settings, and I'm getting a constant 80 FPS. Post-processing on. The sun flare, internal and external, that's subjective. I just prefer it on subtle. You can bang that right up to full on if you like. Bloom is off, heat haze is off, because I found that the heat haze was blurring things out in VR, and you don't want that. You want it nice and, you know. Raindrops, no. Vignetta, no. I won't even try and pronounce this. Sun rays, no. Screen dirt, no. Again, these are no, not because my GPU can't handle it. It's because it interferes with the clarity of the visuals. Okay. So this is the big one, performance. Texture resolution high, anti-stropic 16 times, no VSync, MSAA high. I mean, honestly, MSAA high with the Oculus Quest 2 slider maxed out gives almost, I mean, it's not as good as the HP reverb. Okay, I've had an HP reverb and it's beautiful, and I'm looking for another one of those now, but it's damn close, really is close. No super sampling, reflections are high, environment map is high, car detail ultra, track detail ultra, pit crew player only, shadow detail medium, enhanced mirror yes, motion blur off, rendered frames ahead 4, detailed grass off, particle level high, particle density ultra. That is what you can expect with a 3090. Okay, now the 3090 is the fastest graphics card in the world right now. Okay, and it's got the highest price tag on it as well. A lot of people on YouTube are saying they're able to max everything out on ultra and high. And they probably are. I've had it maxed out on ultra and high, but that's running with no cars. That's just doing hot laps, and I was still getting reprojection. So my settings will give you a constant 80 FPS. Okay, if you don't mind reprojection, and you don't mind it dipping down into 40 FPS and then bumping itself back up to 80, you could go higher on these settings. But I don't like that transition between 80 and 40. I'm very sensitive to it, and it's not nice. It's not nice for people with motion sickness, who suffer with motion sickness. So you always want to be aiming for a high frame rate. And when I look at the FPS monitor, I can see I've got a little bit of headroom in there as well, and the temptation is there to jump back in and bump up these settings, but you want that headroom, because when you're all bunched up on a corner and you're all fighting for first place, that's when you need that extra bit of FPS just sitting there waiting to be used. Okay, so those are my settings. I'm not using any super sampling because the headset is being super sampled itself within the Oculus software. Okay, and that is it. What we got here, if I go into a single race, you'll see the time of day where I've got it set to. Opponent settings, I've got 9 cars there. I'm just experimenting at the moment, and I've lowered the skill level and opponent aggression down as low as possible, because I want to be with the cars while I'm testing the settings. I want to be, you know, I want everything on the screen. If you set it too high, they're just going to leave you. I mean, you're on your own. You're not getting a true benchmark then. Okay, so I hope that's been useful to someone, and I'll check you in my next video.